Hello, is that Krishma? How are you doing? My self love. How are you doing? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Hi, Janie. How are you doing? Let me get this camera right. There we go. Hey, just be real. How are you? Welcome, LaGuardia. How are you doing? Just be real. Is my camera clear? Because it looks like it's fading in and out. Is my camera clear over here on YouTube? Hey, Jesus, girl Betty, how are you? Hey, excuse me. Hi, Robin. How are you doing? Hi, Elith from BS. Where's BS at? Where is that at? Welcome. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. Hey, Miss Shirley, how are you? Hey, Dana Webster. Hey, Dana, how are you? We haven't talked in a while. I need to know how things are going. Valdosta, okay. Hi, Stephanie from New York City. How are you doing? How are you doing? Hello. Hi, Ashley. Typo? Oh, okay. Hi, Ashley. Thank you so much. It looks blurry? Okay, give me a minute. From Virginia Beach. I used to be stationed in Petersburg, Fort Lee. Let me see if I can fix this. Give me a second. Let me see. Oh, Lord. I don't want to do that. All right, let's see if this will work. Is that better? Is that better? You got some updates? Okay, you need to contact me because I need to hear what your updates are. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Hi, Kira. How are you? Petersburg. Okay, I was stationed in Fort Lee, Virginia. Hey, Cluster. Hey, Auntie Karen. How are you? Hello, everyone. I'm good on Instagram. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Manchester, UK. Okay, Sir Hooter. Okay, I'm coming. I am coming to the UK one day. I promise you that. Is still blur? Just real is blurry. Is it still blurry? Hey, Patrice, how are you? I just fixed it. It shouldn't be blurry, and it shouldn't be dark because it was dark before. Hi, Rhonda from New York City. How are you? Thank you for joining me. So I know some of you guys will come later on for the replay. When you come for the replay, looks good on Facebook. Okay, great. And it's not too dark, right? Because last week I couldn't figure out why my camera went dark. Like the whole camera went dark. And then when I went back to look at it, the whole camera was dark. So I apologize for last week, but this week I fixed it. So everything should be good. It should be clear and it should not be dark. But I was saying something. Hey, from Los Angeles, Roots Mama, are you coming out to see me in Los Angeles? I need to know how many of you guys have registered for the conference. Y'all don't lie because I can go look at the names. How many of you guys have come and registered for my conference? Because I need to see, and Roots Mama, if you are in LA, I want you to come see me because I'll be there on July 29th for my conference. Okay, now it's fading in and out again. I'm sorry. Let me see what's going on. Let me fix this. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, so my camera does something auto, and I don't know what it's doing. I'm gonna have to figure my camera out, so I apologize. But I'm Roots Mama. I hope you're gonna come see me in Los Angeles, California. How many of you guys have registered for my conference? You guys can come. What? You didn't know? Girl, you got to come out there to California. July 29th. Go to, hey Ernestine, go to overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com and get you a ticket. You can do general session, which is from 8 to 5, or you can do VIP, which is from 8 to 11. And we're going to break at 5 o'clock. And then at 7 o'clock, we're coming back formal with a dinner. And it's going to be me, my sister, Kathy Gibson. My Life is Intentional. You guys get to meet Telsha with the T on MPD. You get to meet Tasha Leland, my sister Bridget Griffin. She's a domestic violence advocate. My mother, Apostle Helen Sadler. I have a newcomer. Her name is Dr. Paula Tucker, who is a trauma professional, trauma researcher, and she's going to be talking about brain trauma, dealing with narcissist abuse. And then those of you that can't come in person, you can register online and you can watch general session online, and we interact with you. And so I hope to see you guys, because from 8 to 5, 12 o'clock, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to go out into the lobby and go eat. But then for the VIP in the evening, we're going to have dinner. So I'm hoping, Roots Mama, that you get to come out there. I would love to meet you. So July 29th, I'll be in Los Angeles, California. And how many of you guys have registered? Don't wait till the last minute, because if you wait till the last minute, I have to shut everything off, because I have to have a head count. And so I have to give them a head count. So I'm hoping to see you guys at the conference. I really want you guys. And some of you guys that came last year, you're going to get a personal call from me. I'm going to start calling you guys tomorrow. I was going to say yesterday. I'm going to call you. Some of you guys that have been to my last two. This is my third annual conference. This year's in Los Angeles. I was going to do it in New York, but because my father is in. Kia, you registered? Good. I didn't see your name. I got to go back and look. Kia, I got to go back and look and see if you've registered. When I say registered, I mean paid for your ticket. So if you went to overcomingNarcissistAbuse.ticketleap.com and paid for your ticket. I don't know what my camera is doing, y'all. I don't know what my camera is doing, and I apologize, because it's like going in and out, and I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see. Let me see what's going on. Why is it doing this? Let's see what's going on with my camera. Give me a minute, y'all. There should be nothing on autopilot over here. Everything. My camera should not be on autopilot. Okay. I apologize, y'all. Oh, I hope you get to come. Oh, Sequoia. Okay. Okay. I am looking forward to. Hey, Sharima, I'm looking forward to meeting you. Hi, Miss Miza Nicole. How are you? So I'm hoping to see you guys. Those of you that have been to my conference, the last two conferences, you guys are going to get a call from me tomorrow. I'm going to check and see if you guys have purchased your tickets. So I'm going to check and see if you guys have purchased your tickets. And I hope that you guys purchase your tickets. I really would love to meet you guys out there. That's what I was going to ask. You want to ask about me calling to check? Yes, I'm going to call the people from the last two conferences. So, Stephanie, if you go to overcomingNarcissistAbuse.ticketleap.com, you can also register for Zoom. And Zoom, you get to see general session. And that's from 8 to 5, which is Pacific Standard Time. So you can tap in and you can watch as we actually interact with you as well. And you get to ask questions in between there as well. So we interact with you in the conference as well. So you get to meet everybody that's there. We turn the camera around so you can say hello to everyone. And so it was it was amazing the last two times. And I was so grateful for all those that were able to come out there. And I got to meet you personally. So I'm going to be calling some of you guys. Baby crying. Oh, you baby crying. Bring your tissues, because this year is unpackaging your trauma. So and I really want you guys to be there, unpackaging your trauma. You're not going to regret it. It's money well spent. The people that are there are amazing. They're powerful people. And I promise you, you're not going to leave out of there the same way that you came in there. You're not. So you guys ready? So I was just waiting for some more people to come on. So some of you guys, this is not for those of you that are live, but some of you guys are coming to the replay. And for the replay, I always take my time to say hello. And I know some people like to say ugly things like, get on with it. You talking too long. Why you got to say hello to everybody? Because it's my channel. That's why, y'all. And if you don't want to be here, you can just go to somebody else's channel. No problem. Be careful what you say, because you will get blocked. Because I have a blocking finger. So welcome this evening. My name is Dr. Carmen Bryant. I'm the host of Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Thank you guys. For many of you guys, you're brand new to my channel. I am so appreciative that you are here. Tonight, I wanted to talk about the narcissist supply wears masks too. And I'm going to slow down and take my time, because I had so much information running through my head while I was thinking they can get blocked. She said, hey, Doreen, is it Doreen? Doreen. But I had so much information running through my head when I wanted to talk about this. And so I wanted to slow it down. So those of you, thank you so much, Hash Brown. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But I wanted to slow down a little bit so I can catch up with my thoughts, so that I can give you those things that I was thinking. And most of you guys are thinking, Yes, the narcissist wears mask. We know that the narcissist wears mask. I don't like the way that the new clubhouse is, Jesus baby girl. I really don't like the way that the new clubhouse is, because the way that the new clubhouse is set up, when you're in the waiting room area, anybody can just go in there and just start conversations. I don't like the invasion of my privacy. And I don't like for people to be able to just come on the platform without me inviting them up there, because people can start conversation and people will assume that I'm the one that encouraged them to start certain conversations. And I don't want, I have a team already. Like, my team is, I have Just Be Real, and she knows how I think, she knows how I operate, and so she's the only one that can freely go on there, and she can open up a room, she can talk to you guys because she knows how I flow. And so I just don't like the way that the new clubhouse is set up, and hopefully they'll change it, because I'm afraid to delete my house and start over, because I'm afraid that it's going to delete the recordings that are on there. But if that's what I have to do, I may have to do that and start all over again, and hopefully I don't, because I don't want to lose my followers. So I'm just gonna have to look into it, because I really don't like the way that the new clubhouse is set up. I don't like the houses. I really don't. But let's go ahead and get started. So we're talking about the narcissist supply wears mask too, and some of you guys can relate already. Hey Carmen, how are you? What a pretty name. But some of you guys can already relate. Some of your minds are already like, yeah, I understand what she's saying. Some of you guys like, because you're already in that, defensive mode, because you don't want anything to do with that narcissist. You don't want to be associated with them. You don't want to look like them. But the crazy part about it is that a lot of you that are coming out of these situations have very, very strong narcissist traits. Some of you do the exact same thing that the narcissist does without actually being a narcissist. And then if you actually think about some of the things that you do, you can actually say to yourself, hey, Miss Valerie, you can actually say to yourself, I know why I do this, because I do it to protect myself. I do it to protect myself. But let's go back in time. So some of you guys, now keep in mind, I want to go ahead and put a disclaimer out there and a trigger warning, because some of you guys, if this is too much for you tonight, I want you to get off my channel and take a break. And I don't mean get off my channel for good. What I'm saying is tonight there might be some trigger warnings. There's some things that I may say, hopefully that I don't get blocked, because this is for educational purposes only. If you have a therapist, if you don't have a therapist, please go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen, and they will give you a 10% discount when you seek a therapist in your area. And so they will give you a therapist in your area, in your location, in your state. And if you have insurance and you want to use your insurance, go to Psychology Today, and you can find a therapist that accepts your insurance in your state. And so I want to put that disclaimer out. This is for educational purposes only. This is for educational purposes only. And this is for information. I'm giving you information. I'm giving you education, but you have to go to a therapist or a medical professional in order to get help. This is not a platform where you're getting therapy from me. I'm not going to give you therapy or coaching. I give you information. I give you education. Okay. So first of all, let's go back to childhood. Trigger warning, please. If this bothers you and if this is too much for you, please go ahead and just cut it off and come back when you're ready to listen to it. And if you can't listen to it right now, save it, and come back to it when you can. This trigger warning, okay? Because we're going to be talking about a few things that you may have been through. First of all, some of you have grew up in homes where, number one, you had toxic parents. Some of you parents may not have been narcissists, but some of you parents may have been substance abusers. Some of your parents may have been absent. Some of you may have grown up in a household where your parent gave you to a relative to raise, maybe even to a neighbor or someone you don't even know. Maybe CPS came in and took you from your parents, put you in foster care. And then in the foster care system or your adoptive family treated you like you were money. You were a means to get finances. Some of you guys have been rejected, neglected, abandoned, and sexually assaulted. Some of you guys have been sexually violated as children. And so when this happens, or you may have had narcissistic parents that used you as a trophy. You were the trophy kid. You were the golden child. And the thing was, they didn't teach you empathy. They taught you that you were better than anybody else around them because you were an extension of themselves. Or you could have had narcissistic parents that, and you have to remember that narcissistic parents are the type of parents that if you get too much attention in childhood, they are agitated and they'll do little things to hurt you, to hurt your heart, to hurt your feelings, And so when you have narcissistic parents, you have to remember that most of you guys that have children understand this. When children are when children are little, They cannot articulate their emotions and their feelings, but children have emotions and feelings. They cannot articulate themselves. They cannot tell you, I'm tired, I'm hungry. That's why babies cry. That's why little children get agitated. A lot of them get agitated. They start crying. They don't know what's going on with them. They're just agitated and they just start crying. Hold on just a minute. Let me try to fix this again because I do not understand what is going on here. Okay, that's entirely too dark. That's entirely too light. Let's get it over here in the medium so it's not too dark, too light. All right, let me see what I can do here. Ooh, child, I look washed out. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Give me just a second. Let me fix what's going on here. I don't like this autofocus because this is on autofocus. Let me fix it. You guys give me a second. Let me fix this. Okay. Hopefully that'll work. But some of you guys, when you've been through this type of trauma in childhood, a lot of you have been rejected, neglected, abandoned. Babies cry because they have a need. They cry when they're tired. They cry when they want to be fed. They cry when they want to be comforted or held. They cry when their parent walks away. The problem with a narcissist, a lot of times, not all of, well, yeah, most of them, the narcissist does not want someone else to get all the attention. And they'll look at an innocent little baby or an innocent little toddler, and they'll get frustrated at the fact that you're getting too much energy from me. You're getting too much attention from me. I have good lighting in the background. It's the camera. It's the camera. But the narcissist, and it's sad that they think the way that they think because of the fact that they look at a child and they'll look at a child at you're getting too much attention. Stop trying to get all the attention because they need all the attention. See, when children start crying, what do most people do? Most of us as parents, we turn around to look to see what the child needs. Even if it's a narcissist child, we'll look to see, is the baby okay? And then the focus gets away from that narcissistic parent. And so that narcissistic parent becomes angry. They'll do little things to hurt the child, or they'll do things like ignore the child whatsoever, altogether. The sad part about it is a lot of your needs went unmet when you cried as a child, cried, and they just would not come in and comfort you. They would not come in to see how you were doing. They fed you and changed your diaper, but when you started crying, it overwhelmed them because of the fact that they didn't want to deal with you. You were getting too much attention. So a lot of babies grew up, a lot of you grew up, and you begin to recognize that, and it's not in general, but you guys begin to recognize as children, and this is how you start looking at the world, is that it doesn't matter if I have needs and my needs are never met. So crying is irrelevant. Showing sadness is irrelevant. Some of you grew up, and when you were in school and you were being bullied or something, you came home, they didn't do anything about it. Or the teachers may have been bullying you or doing something. They didn't do anything about it. Or some of you may have been in sports. You did things and, award ceremonies and sports, and you want your parents to come out there and support you. You looked up in the bleachers, they were never there. You had recitals. You had, things that awards, that people were getting awards or graduating, and you look out there and your parents are not even out there because they don't have time for that. So you went through your young childhood and your mind was set to, emotions are irrelevant. If I cry, my needs are never met. If I'm sad, I'm never comforted. So you learned yourself. You did not get narcissistic personality disorder. You picked up on a lot of traits. And a lot of those traits were to protect yourself. You went within to protect yourself. In your mind, when you grew up, you begin to wear a mask yourself. Pride is one of the biggest masks that you can wear. Pride, all it is, the root of it is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of what people think. Because when you tell me what you think, I'm always afraid of what people think because I always assume that you don't like me. A lot of people become people pleasers and codependent because I'm afraid. I feel relevant when I'm doing something for someone. I feel relevant when I'm needed because I've never felt needed. Tasha Leleman said, when you leave home hungry, you go into the world starving. So you're starving and you can never get your needs met. And so you put on these masks because certain masks gets you certain attention. Pride is one of the biggest masks to wear. I'm going to present myself a certain way, because when I present myself a certain way, it's not my true authentic self, but it gets attention. It's not my true authentic self, but it gets me conversation. It gets me compliments. And I want the compliments so bad. I want the attention so bad that I'll do whatever I can, jump through hoops in order to, because I'm so desperate and so in need. I'm needy for this attention. Some of you guys, even to a point where your narcissistic traits are so strong, that's why the narcissist is able to pick out your traits. They see themselves in you. And then you're concerned and overwhelmed with the fact, what if I'm a narcissist? Because I do that and I think the same way. Now, if you think the same way that they do, then imagine if it actually turned into a disorder where you can no longer control that. You can no longer control that. But for some people, you go in. So you don't want to share yourself. You don't want people to see the true authentic self. You don't want people to see that you're a kind and caring person. You put on this mask, going through your job, going through corporate, and you put on this mask at corporate. You're the strong leader. You're not afraid to talk to anybody. You're not afraid of doing anything. And on the inside, you're petrified. On the inside, when you come home, and even some of you that are married to narcissists or living with narcissists, you come home and you are petrified. You come home and you are so hurt. You come home and everything that people see at work is totally opposite than what you truly are, what you really are. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix my lighting over here. Here we go. But it's not your true authentic self. So you present yourself one way at work. So you put the mask, you're in the car, you put the mask on, and you have to play this role. So you're in this mask and you play this role. You're the PTA mom or dad of the world. You go in and you don't even like kids, but you go in because you're the best PTA mom or PTA dad. You're at every event and you're doing all this stuff and people are applauding you and you getting awards, and it's all the attention that you ever wanted from your family. But you don't even like hanging around kids. You like yours sometimes. You love them, but sometimes you like your kids, but you don't want to be around the kids, but you're getting attention. So you're getting attention when you go, so you go and do it. You get around people in the street and you become this wonderful person. But when you come home, you take those masks off in your pride. Matter of fact, some of you don't even know how to take the mask off. You don't even know who you are. Just like a narcissist, they don't even know who they are, because all these masks that they wear is not their true authentic self. All they do is pick, it's like Jeepers Creepers. They pick pieces and parts of people and then they play those roles. They don't know who they really are. And what they really are is scared, low self-esteem, low self-worth. They always feel rejected. They always feel abandoned. And some of you feel the exact same way. Does that make you a narcissist? Absolutely not. Does that mean you have narcissistic traits? Absolutely. Does that mean that you wear a mask? Absolutely, because you don't want people to really know who you are. But the sad part about it is you've got lost in these masks where you yourself don't even know who you are. You don't know the colors you like. You don't know the foods you like. You don't know if you like to be alone. You don't know if you want to be married. I do want to be married. I don't. Some of you say, I don't ever want to be married ever again. And in your heart, yes, you do. You do want companionship. You do want somebody to love you. Hurt bad that you won't even let that come across your lips. There came a time where I refused to wear a ring on my ring finger. I refused. If I got a ring, I would wear it on my right hand. I would wear it on my right hand. I refused to wear a ring on my ring finger. I just refused to do it. And then eventually, when I went to this conference in Hawaii with Apostle Sadler, when we went to this conference and I was in Hawaii, I began to look at rings. And the ring that I tried on fit this hand, fit the ring finger, the wedding finger. It fit this hand. I kept trying to put it on this hand. It wouldn't fit on this hand. It only fit on this hand. And that was the first time last year that I ever put a ring on my ring finger. And that's crazy, because some of you guys don't know how deep the pain ran where you do certain things and you don't even know why you do certain things. I didn't realize that the reason why I did certain things was because of the fact that I was hurt. I didn't ever want to be associated with that narcissist, meaning ever put another ring on this finger. I'm not saying ever, because when I get married, of course I was going to put a ring on there. But while I was single, I didn't want no ring on this finger, because someone had taken away the beauty of what that meant. And so last year was the first time I finally put a ring on my finger. And it's been almost 10 years. That was the first time, 9 years at the time, 10 years. And that was the first time I put a ring on this finger. And so some of you guys don't realize, number one, you don't know your true authentic self. You don't even know why you do some of the things that you do. And some of you actually think just like a narcissist does. When you are tired of someone and I don't want to confront the situation, I don't want to hurt their feelings. So that lets you know that you're not a narcissist when you're more concerned about somebody else's feelings. I'm too afraid to hurt their feelings. And some of you guys have gotten to a point, I'm afraid to hurt their feelings, where you won't even stand up for your own self because you have become codependent. So you're so afraid of hurting somebody's feelings that a narcissist ain't afraid of hurting your feelings. If you wondered if you were a narcissist is not concerned whether they hurt your feelings or not. They're concerned whether or not you're going to make them look bad and you're going to bruise their ego and cause them a narcissistic injury. That you're so concerned about what people think. Are they going to think I'm a bad person? I don't want to confront the issue, so I'm just going to ghost them. And people are like, why don't you just tell them that you're not interested? Because if you don't tell them that you're not interested, they will keep on pursuing you. I just can't do it because I don't want to hurt their feelings. And so you ghost them. You don't say anything. You try to avoid them like the Black Plague. Or some of you guys, you know how to give the silent treatment. So, when you hurt me, I just won't say nothing to you at all because I don't want to confront you. I don't want to tell you because I'm afraid that I may have to argue with you. I'm afraid that you might gaslight me. You may not say the words gaslight, but you know all the things that were happening to you. So you know what gaslighting is. You may not be able to articulate the term, but you don't want to be gaslighted. You don't want to get in a fight. You have been in this with your parents. Your parents have used or the person you were with, have used your emotions against you. They made you feel bad. They made you feel so you don't like confrontation. So you give the silent treatment. I just won't say anything because I'm going to punish you for hurting me the way that you did. Or you may be so angry at being hurt that not only will you give them the silent treatment, you make sure you even stare at them. Now you don't have a narcissistic stare because when you see a narcissistic stare, when you see a narcissist and their stare is very different than an anger stare. And some of you have the anger stare. You get angry and you stare. You stare because you have all sorts of stuff going through your head. You are angry and you want them to see just how angry you are. But that's where the narcissist stare derives from. It's a pure evil stare. Nothing compared to your stare, but a pure evil stare. But like I said, you will, give the silent treatment. Yeah. So a lot of you guys, you wear these different masks to hide behind the mask to protect what is so valuable to you, and that's your heart. Your heart has been broken. You have been through so much in your life. Some of you have been violated. It's even hard to connect to people on a sexual level. It's even hard to connect to people on an intellectual level. It's hard, even when you have friends, it's hard to be a genuine friend because you always got to put on this mask because you think that's what they want from you. And there are some people that truly like you for your ugly, authentic self. And you may be ugly at the time, but they really, truly care about you. And your mindset is, but what is it that you like about me? Something wrong with you if you like me. Something wrong with you if you like. See, that's how a narcissist thinks. If you like me, I know something is wrong with you. But for you, if you like me, then there must be something wrong with you. That's a you problem, not a me problem. That's a you problem. I just like you, but you don't even know me. If you really knew who I was, you wouldn't like me. You don't even know who you are because you hiding behind a mask. You've lived behind a mask all these years and you don't even know who you are. You really don't know who you are. And the thing about it is to be vulnerable to a friend is to just be your authentic self and tell them when you're hurting, to cry. Some of you guys have not even been able to cry. You can't even cry because tears, when you've cried for a narcissist, it was always taken as a weakness. So when you cry, think about it. A narcissist can get you to react and get you to cry. You're weak and they'll use that against you. If a narcissist can get you to be angry, you weak and they can use that against you. So a lot of you have a hard time even crying when you need to cry. And you walk around with these built up emotions because you can't even authentically cry. Because when you cry, you have been taught it's a weakness. So I would never show you my soft side. I would never show you the tears that run down my face. Even for some of you guys that are in the church, if you go in there and you worship and tears come to you, won't even let the tears run down your face. You won't even let the tears run down your face okay, so I'm going to go a little preachy tonight, okay? Just a little bit. You won't even let the tears stream down your face in a broken place, in a safe place with you and God, because you're afraid that it's looked at as a weakness. So you can't even do that. You can't even do that. Or whoever your higher being is, you can't even get into the presence of your higher being and break and cry and get those emotions out because it looks like a weakness. You have been taught it was a weakness. So you won't. And then if people argue and stuff, If they're arguing with you or people flex or whatever, you make sure that your face is blank. It's called a blunt effect. The blunt effect. That means that you have no facial expression. You wipe off all expression because it's like military. You never let them see you sweat. They never let you see your weakness. You don't ever let an enemy look you in the eye and see weakness, a tear, a facial expression, nothing. I won't even let you know that I'm afraid. And you could be so scared, so afraid, but you'll be stoic. You'll never show those emotions. I grew up like that. I grew up like that even till now because I'm the older sister and I was in the military. And so those things work for me in the military because in the military, as a leader, you can't let the soldiers see the weakness. You can't let the soldiers see that you're scared. You can't let the soldiers see that you are hurt and you want to cry. You always have to present a stoic front. You always have to, and in the military, it's acceptable. That's something you have to do because you're leading soldiers and they have to trust you. Because if the leader looks like they're afraid, then the soldiers are going to be scared. The problem is when you come out the military or you come out of a position like that, and then you still caught up in that moment and you don't know how to be yourself. You don't know how to shed tears. You don't know how to pull the mask off because you don't even know what mask you're wearing at that particular time. And so you can get into a confrontation or argument with people around you, and you make sure that you wear that and you don't allow them to see your emotions. You don't let them see you smile. You don't let them see you cry. You don't let them see nothing. Because what you do is you try to blank out your mind. And when you blank out your mind and you have that stare in your face, you don't know what you're thinking. You blank out your mind because you know that if you start thinking, you might swing. So you blank out your mind and you have the stare on your face. And it's a blank stare on your face because I'm going to blank it out so that you can't cause me to react. So see, a lot of you may not be able to put the words to what is happening, but you've been doing it all along. Now you have the words to apply to what you are doing, and you do it automatically without even thinking about it. That's how you self-preserve. That's how you protect yourself. And people look at you and they're like, you're about the strongest person I've ever met in my life. And on the inside, you are afraid. You are afraid. You hear me? Thank you, David. But you are afraid on the inside. And that goes for men and women alike. You are so afraid. Some men are so afraid. Listen, I'm going to talk to the kings too. Some men, listen, we have some awesome men. Awesome. Every man is not enough. Even though statistically, those that have been tested, narcissistic personality disorder is higher in men than in women. Borderline personality disorder, which is also a cluster B personality disorder, borderline personality disorder is higher in women than it is in men. And if you think about it, most women are more emotional than men. And so it kind of fits. You see what I mean? But there is a high rate of those people that have borderline personality disorder. The percentage is high for narcissistic personality disorder and vice versa for narcissistic personality disorder. There's a high rate of those that have NPD that also have BPD. But even for the men, there are men out there that have been so broken in their youth, and the perpetrator was a woman, was their mother, was an auntie, was a sister. You see what I mean? And so they're afraid because they grew up assuming that women are this way. So I have to protect my heart. So there's some generational trauma, and I'm going to be talking about that at the conference. There's some generational trauma, and I'm just talking to the men at this moment. There's some generational trauma where you have men to teach you never show a woman your emotions because they'll take advantage of it. This is coming from hurt men. And so you're carrying it on. So you never truly are authentic with a woman because you have been wounded by a woman. And so because you have been wounded by a woman, you don't even know how to be vulnerable with a woman. Because you're afraid that every woman is going to hurt you the same way that your mother, auntie, sister, cousin, or whoever your caretaker was hurt you in the very beginning. So it is a basis, a baseline that gave you an idea of what the world is going to be like. And a lot of that was a false perception of what the world and what women will be like. Men, there are some wonderful women out there that are wanting to have a great man like you. And women, there are great men out there that are looking for great women like you. But you have to heal. The men have to heal because men are just as afraid of relationship as some women are. They're just not going to tell you that because what man's going to tell you, I'm afraid to be in a relationship right now? What a narcissistic woman going to do? You ain't got to be scared, baby. I'm going to take care of you. I ain't going to hurt you. I'm not going to break your heart. That's the stuff that they heard all along. So most men are not ready to be vulnerable with a woman. And it takes healing. It takes being around the right people. It takes being around the right group. It takes being around the right tribe. It takes coming to a conference so we can talk about stuff like that. But a lot of you are wearing masks. You don't even know who you are. You really don't know who your true, authentic, beautiful self is. And some of you guys know I am a giver. I have a big heart. I love people. I want to help people. But as soon as people, do something to hurt me, I'm ready to fight. And I'm going to shut it all down. And I'll look like a narcissist. And I know for a fact that I'm not a narcissist. But the only way that you can get help is when you finally admit that very thing. When you finally admit that very thing, that's when the healing will start place. You have to talk to someone. You talk to a good coach. You talk to a good therapist. If you have a pastor that you're close to, make an appointment with your pastor and sit down and get pastoral care. Because like our pastor, like my mother, not only is she a coach, she's also a pastor. So she does soul care. So she doesn't just give you information about narcissistic personality disorder based off of statistics and reviews and research, but she gives you the spiritual aspect of what is going on with a narcissist. And most of you guys know it is not all natural. And a lot of us that are in different religions, backgrounds, spiritual aspect, all of us can agree those are some evil people. There's some evil lurking behind those people, because how can you be that evil? How can you be that evil to another human being, to children on top of that? How can you be that cruel and that evil? And there are some that are malignant narcissists that I can tell you some stories that I would not tell on social media, that I would have to tell you during a conference where, it's just recorded and it's private. But there's some stuff that I have seen in therapy that is, listen, thank God I got the mother that I do. Thank God that she's my pastor. She has been my coach. And when I see things in therapy, I can go and talk to her and tell her what my mind is thinking. Some things that have my mind almost toe up from stuff that I have been exposed to, where people have been abused, where grown people come and tell me what their narcissistic parents did to them as children. Sex trafficking is one of them. What one lady had I think the narcissistic mother bust her head open all the way where where her skull was cracked, and would not go get medical attention for her. So this woman had a traumatic brain injury, which she didn't know she had, but her skull was cracked open. So I don't know if some of the brain was coming out or not, but wouldn't even take her to the hospital. Till this day, I think she has brain damage, and she is off the chain. I mean, she really needs to be institutionalized. But some of the stories, some of the things that I have seen, listen, I'm telling you, had it not been for a coach and a mentor and a leader and a mother like I had, my mind would have been gone, because some of the stuff, that vicarious trauma, that secondary trauma from hearing the stories, PTSD is not all the time your personal experience with it. Sometimes it's secondary trauma based off of what you're hearing some of these narcissists have done to children and adults. Yeah, absolutely. Terrible. So listen, because I'm not going to be on long tonight. So just be real. Give me about 10 minutes. Give me about 10 minutes. And I want you guys to ask some questions. Now listen, I want to stay on topic. I want my mind to stay focused on what I was just talking about. Okay. If you guys come up with other topics to talk about, especially between each other, I'm gonna say something to you. But let's talk about what we talked about tonight, so I can stay focused, because this was really important to a lot of people, and I wanted to come and talk to you guys about this. So ask me some questions. A lot of my videos will answer a lot of your questions that you have, but ask me some questions tonight pertaining to what I was just talking about. Thank you for joining. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading what Just Be Real just wrote. Thank you, Just Be Real. I appreciate you. So ask me some questions. If y'all want to ask me some questions, ask me some questions. Please, whatever you do, don't make the questions real long, because if you make them real long, they scroll too fast. Because I got a lot. You have to remember that on this live, not on Instagram, but on this live, I have LinkedIn, I have Twitter, I have YouTube. So my restream has a lot of comments coming up at one time. Does wearing the mask called dissociation? You know what, Miss Tara? I'm glad you asked that question, because that was one thing that I wanted to talk about as well that I didn't get to. Thank you, Miss Tara, for bringing that up. Listen, sometimes when you wear a mask, okay, so when you're dealing with PTSD and when you have been traumatized so much, sometimes you're living in a unreality. You're living in a dream world. You are living with a fog in your mind. You're living on autopilot. You literally have dissociated with your trauma. So you're disassociated and you're living in an unrealistic world. A narcissist already lives in an unrealistic world. But to dissociate, some people, when they become overwhelmed and stressed, they start having conversations that make no sense, singing real loud, or cracking jokes that don't make any sense, or they just live in this made up world that gives them peace and quiet. So now that's not the disorder, but that's dissociating, and that's a part of PTSD, to dissociate when the stress level gets to a familiar point in your life. So a lot of you guys have lived in a home with these narcissistic parents, and that stress level went up so high that you dissociated so you didn't have to deal with it. So in life, when you're living life and those stress levels come up and they feel familiar like they did with that narcissist, you dissociate. Thank you. Thank you, Patrice. But you start to dissociate, and you dissociate and you go into your own world that's peaceful, your own world that's safe. That's unhealthy, and you really need to go and get some type of therapy. Can you talk more about the narcissist stare? Not on this time, because I'm talking about the narcissist supply wearing masks. But you can go look at my videos and you'll find the video in there about the narcissistic stare. Tourette, I'm not too sure if Tourette is affiliated with trauma. Tourette is a neurological disorder. I think it's a neurological disorder. So I'm not too sure if that's associated. I have to go look that up. What happens when you in opposite emotional effects, showing love you never received? That's another thing. That is true. Sometimes what happens is not everybody has these type of features, especially empaths. Empaths, not especially empaths, but empaths, for example, empaths have been so traumatized that they're so hypersensitive that they want to save everybody. And what happens is you pour out and you feel everything, everybody. So you're trying to save and help everybody because of what you went through, because of the sensitivity you have. And some people, they have been so wounded that they just love on everybody and they love on the wrong people. So they want to show everybody love. The empaths do that. They want to show everybody love, and I got to love you, and I got to love the cats, and I got to love you, and I got to fix you. That runs into codependency. Sometimes it becomes codependent. You're codependent on a person being sick because you feel value, and you feel value, and you feel needed. You have that need to be needed. If you go to, I did a course on breaking codependency, and I talked about that very thing. So I should have the course up tomorrow. So the course, I have it uploaded. I got to do the workbook, so I'll have that finished tomorrow, and that course will be available to you. Breaking codependency, because I talk about that. You in your mind you think it's love, but in actuality it's codependency. Are the masks due to narc abuse or a combination of childhood trauma and narc relationship? It can be a combination of all of that, because wearing a mask and that can be a culmination of all of that. It's not just one thing. It could be a culmination of all of that, and that exactly what you asked. It could be all of that. Loving and don't even know how to be loved. Come on, say it, girl. That was great. Yes. Loving and don't know how to love. You've never really been loved, authentically loved, because people associate. I did that last week. What's love got to do with it? But to try to love somebody and you have no example of what love is because you never experienced it. And that's why one of the most important things that my pastor always talks about, those of you guys that follow Apostle Helen Sadler, you have to learn how to, and my sister Kathy Gibson, Bishop Kathy Gibson, My Life is Intentional. How can you love somebody if you've never truly been authentically loved? And for those of you that are in the church, and it's not the church, having a relationship with God and letting God love you, and whoever your higher being is, whatever your higher spiritual being is, to learn to be loved by God or whoever your higher being is, to authentic, because love is not an emotion. Love is not a feeling. An emotion is an emotion. And when that burns out, do you still love me? Because, in the Greeks, they came up with different terminologies to express love. And if we're honest with each other, if I'm like, girl, I love you, boo. No, phileo, honey, agape, girl. Or if they just come out and say, I got an eros for you. I got that erotic love. I got that lust for you, girl. Then we know what people are talking about. I need to know what you're talking about. What kind of love are you talking about? Because real love is not an emotion. So when you get with a person, It's not about the emotions. You need to be with them long enough where those emotions settle down and you're no longer on cloud nine, and you get to see what they really like. You get to see, are they responsible when it comes to finances? What do you like when you get angry? What is your relationship like with your mother or your father? How do you handle the women in your life? Or how do you handle the men in your life? Let me get around you. When you get angry, do you tear stuff up? Do you say stuff and then you turn around and say, I was just angry, I didn't mean what I said? Or do you always got something smart to say, or you got some undercurrents? What do you like? So when that that the feeling and the emotions settle on stuff, can I really love you? Do I still want to see you do well? Do I still want to see? Do I want to help you? Can we come together where you don't overwhelm me and I don't overwhelm you, and I allow you to be yourself and you allow me to be myself, and we come together with these plans? That love is not a feeling. Y'all remember that. Love is not an emotion. It's not a feeling. That's what people make a mistake at. They get married off of a feeling and an emotion. And then you right here on the channel with us. Yeah, I did it. So I'm guilty of it. I ain't gonna lie. It was a feeling that didn't last very long. Well, for me, I do the opposite. The way I've been want love, it was tolerance. So I did the opposite and got to know why person to love them correctly. But then you out here doing charity work. You don't need to be out here doing charity work. It's not your responsibility to do charity work. Now there's a difference, when if you're in a helping field, nurses, counselors, coaches, in a helping field, people need that. Go out there and helping the homeless. You're loving people and you're doing it the right way, but you are not responsible. This is not charity. You don't just give out your love. Everybody don't deserve that of you. Um, so is it real love that we give, or a dissociation? Dissociation means that you dissociate in your mind from reality. That's not dissociation. Dissociation is when you dissociate from reality. And for a disorder, when you dissociate from reality, you don't know that you're dissociating from reality. That's the disorder. But to dissociate from reality is a defense mechanism that your mind does to dissociate. I'll give you an example of dissociation. You ever been driving home, and it may take you like 30, 45 minutes, or wherever you're going, and you're going home, and you get to your house and you're like, dang, I don't even recall the ride, because your mind was so preoccupied. You dissociate. That's a mild form of dissociation when you don't remember the ride. All you know is you on autopilot and you ended up at the house. That is a mild form of dissociation. So giving love, real love, and give, that has nothing to do with dissociation. Two different things. I love too much, always the wrong people. That's not love then. Those are emotions. That's not love. Those are emotions. And it could be codependency as well. Yeah, it could be codependency as well. And like I said, my class, the course will be out tomorrow. So those of you that did not make it to the Breaking Codependency, you'll find out some stuff about yourself. I meant wasn't real love. There you go. And got to know a person. Sorry for the. Okay. Christine, that's good. Okay, wasn't love. Absolutely. And Miss Terry, okay, good. 1 minute. Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Tara. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Dealing with a narcissist daughter that narcissist mother helped raise. Isn't that a shame? Dealing with a narcissist a daughter that a narcissist mother helped raise. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Because I know that's a handful. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. Let me take that back. Sounds like I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. What word could I use? Because we're not sorry. We don't ever say I'm sorry. We don't ever say I'm sorry because we're not sorry. I would apologize, but it ain't my fault. My condolences. Put it that way. My condolences. My condolences. And you know that we're here to support you. Can I give the definition of codependency? I need you to go enroll in my class. My class will be available tomorrow. I just have to finish the workbook. It took me like a whole week to edit because I had to go and edit, and then I edited the teaching and the course. And so now that the course is edited tomorrow, I'm going to upload the workbook. So the course will be available tomorrow, Alith. So hopefully, I think you're on YouTube. Make sure you go to my I'll put it in my community tab. And you're welcome, Shirley. Beyonce, okay. Beyonce, Southern Belle. Beyonce said her heart goes out to you. But Elith, I'll put it in my community tab. And if you look in on my Facebook and most of my channels, when I put the course out tomorrow, the course will be available. I just have to finish the workbook, and tomorrow the course will be available for you to enroll in. Very powerful class. And whenever I do classes, my assistant is always there, and they give me feedback. And she said it was great, and I appreciate them giving me feedback. And so I had some typos. Listen, I had some typos in my PowerPoints, and I had to cut some of the typos in my speaking. And so I'll just let you know there's some typos in there. But they told me to go ahead and put it out there. I apologize, but you'll get what I'm saying in there. But it's breaking codependency. And a lot of the questions that you're asking, I will have it available to you. How do we access the class? Just be real. Can you post? They're on YouTube. Can you? Oh, there it goes. Oh no, that's the conference. Go. Can you post my class? Where my class is at? Let me see if I remember by heart. Let me think. Oh, you did? Okay. If you look on Facebook, on under my if you look on Facebook under my profile, or if you go to community tab on YouTube, or if you Instagram under my profile, it's got the link to my academy. I have one already there, which is um, ah, it's about grief and loss, overcoming grief and loss after narcissist abuse. And then the course tomorrow that I will be posting is breaking codependency. It's powerful. For some of you guys, there are probably more, but I talked about 16 different types of grief. And then I talked about the 7 stages of grief, but 16 different types of grief, which some of you guys are not going through one type of grief. You're going through several different types of grief. And those of you that feel guilty about not going through grief at all, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, y'all. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You are pretty normal. Okay, let me look real quick. Let me look. She's already posted it one time already. So let me look. It's in my profile. But I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it so you'll see it. Here it goes. Uh, so hopefully you can see that. This is, there we go. That is my academy. I didn't do a raising a narcissist. I didn't do a course on that. I'm not doing a course on raising it. Oh, you're talking about the parenting course. It's not raising a narcissist. It's taking back your authority as a parent. That's what that is. It's not raising a narcissist. It's taking your authority back as a parent. It's a parenting course. That's what it is, a parenting course. Um, if a narc says they didn't want you as a wife and you responded by saying, "You're not my cup of tea and I never wanted you," does that cause a narc injury? Of course. Absolutely. Of course. Yes, Miss Tara. Just go look at I put it up there, but just be real posted it. Just look at my Instagram, my Facebook page, and go to my community tab on YouTube, and the link it should be under my profile too on YouTube. But the link to the academy is on there, and you could click on it. I have one course there already. Tomorrow I'm going to post the other course, and then when I do my new courses, I always let you guys know, because I allow you guys to purchase the course and come on live while I'm recording the course. Now, while I'm recording the course, you can't interact with me at all because I'm recording the course. Once the course is over, there's an additional fee if you would like to stay for the additional hour, where you can ask me questions and I engage with you. Good night, Ernestine. Yeah. So I'm getting ready to go because my time is up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Some of you guys that came to my conferences the last 2 years, you're going to be getting a call from me tomorrow. I'm going to be calling you guys up to see, have you registered for the conference? I have a conference July 29th in Los Angeles, California. I will be right there at LAX airport. So you guys don't have to rent no car or anything like that. You can take the shuttle and it takes you right to Sonesta. If you did not buy a ticket, you won't be able to come in. But purchase a ticket on overcomingNarcissistAbuse.ticketleap.com. Get you a ticket, whether it is, hey, Andrea, whether it is on general session from 8 to 5, or whether it's VIP from 8 to 11. And remember, we dismiss at 5 o'clock. We go back and get dressed in our formal wear, come back at 7 o'clock to 11. And that is when we're not just having the round table, we're getting you an opportunity to unload your trauma. You're going to have coaches in there. Now, I'm a therapist, but I can't provide you with therapy. But you're going to have coaches in there. Chelsea with the T on MPD is going to be there. Tasha Leland is going to be there. Dr. Paula Tucker, who is the new addition to our gang, who is a trauma researcher. It talks about brain injury, especially dealing with narcissist abuse. Bridget Griffin, who is a domestic violence advocate, and she travels and she talks about this and what happens in the court. But we're going to be talking about unpackaging the trauma. We're going to talk about generational trauma. We're going to talk about sexual trauma and why you guys, some of you guys are the way that you are, why you seek out certain things. What happens to your body when you are sexually violated? And this is good for men too. You know, what happens to your body and your mind when you're sexually violated? And so we go in depth. And anybody that has ever been to any of my conferences know, with the group of people that we got there, we are raw. And we talk in depth. And when I say in depth, I mean the stuff that I can't say on social media is the stuff that we say right there at the conference. So if you guys can make it, I also have Zoom link. So if you guys want to come to Zoom, Zoom is the 8 to 5, the general session. But the VIP is private because that's what private conversations are. Those are private conversations. Those are where you can pour out your heart and cry for the first time. And many of the people who have come to the last two conferences, they had tissue and they cried for the first time. And it took a long time, but they cried for the first time. And so those of you that that can come, please come out to Los Angeles, California, to the Sonesta, so that you can come and meet us. We can hug you. We can sign your book. We can love on you. We can sit and talk to you. On your page, the parenting one and the DV says coming soon. Yeah, those are coming soon. I just have one class out, and tomorrow the other class, codependency class, is going to be posted. The other ones will be coming out. Girl, I can only do one at a time, child. I'm the one editing stuff, Davita. So it'll be one at a time, but those are coming out soon. I haven't done those yet. When I do them, I always post, I always advertise and let you guys know I'm doing it, and I always talk about it too. Thank you, Kanita. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Also, I want you to know that my mom is having a conference in Chicago, Illinois, and her conference is from 11 to the 14th. If you go to destinyhelper.ticketleap.com, purchase you a ticket. It is Friday, it is Saturday, and it is Sunday. It's an all-day event. You get lunch, and then on Monday, we're taking a tour of the city. It is a very reasonable price. We're going to feed you for 3 days, and then we're going on a tour all together. You get to meet all of us on this tour. It's going to be a whole handful of us. But listen, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is a conference in Chicago, Illinois. Go to destinyhelper.ticketleap.com. Get your ticket. Then you got to buy your plane ticket and get your hotel room. So, but go, please meet us there. So whichever one that you can come to, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please come and support. Where will the link be? Where will the Zoom link be for the conference? Once you pay for it, I send you the link the week of the conference. So I usually leave on that Friday because I do a meet and greet for the VIPs, and I send out the link the week of the conference. So when you pay for it, I will send you the link, because I'll send you more information, but I will send you the link to the Zoom the week of the conference with the password and everything. So the week of that conference, the week that I'm doing the conference, like that Monday, because I fly that Friday. So that Monday, I send you the link, okay? The reason why she hasn't been on YouTube is because she got a new device. She got a new iPad. And every time she gets on and she does a video, the sound is gone. And so they have to go and check her iPad. She just announced it today. She has to go back and take her iPad in to have it updated, because every time she's been doing videos, but there's no sound to them. She tries to come on live, there's no sound to the videos. So she has to go get her iPad fixed. So when she goes and get the iPad updated, she'll be able to come back on again. So she's doing fine. She's doing great. It's just the iPad, that's all. Where do you pay? Go to overcoming narcissist abuse ticketleap.com. So go here. Um, Just Be Real posted it. Oops, abuse. Miss Christine, you can go right here to this link. Oh, there she go. Just Be Real just posted it. You can go to that link and purchase your ticket. Oh, I'm gonna let her know it's beyond Beyonce. I will let her know that you, yes, her mother passed away recently. Grandma passed away recently, and so yes, she went home for the funeral. Yes, her mother passed away. Granny passed away. So she did have a loss in the family. So I will make sure that I will let her know that you inquired about her. She's doing fine. She's doing great. It's just the sound. I think the sound card or something in the iPad is a brand new iPad, so she has to get it updated. We can't figure out like what's wrong with the sound because it won't work. It's not working. Overcoming. Let's look. Let me type it in. Let me type it in my browser real quick. So overcoming narcissist abuse dot ticketleap dot com. Put ticket leap. Okay, let's look. Let's see what happens here. Oh, oops. Overcoming. Oh, no wonder I spelled it wrong. Give me a second. Hold on. I spelled it wrong. Narcissist abuse dot ticketleap.com. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, hold on. Let me see what's going on. Let me look. Yeah, it works. Yeah, it works. Let me put it up on the camera. It works. So let me find the yes, overcoming OVERCOMINGNARCISSISTABUSE .ticketleap.com. Yeah, it works. The link works. Okay, give me a minute. Let me go look at the link. Give me a second. Let's see. I don't know if my okay, let me look here. Let's see what's going on here. Chocolate coated said it worked for her. Okay, it worked for her. Which one did you tap on, chocolate coated? Did you did you tap on mine? Okay. Did you tap on mine or did you tap on Just Be Reals? The second link doesn't work. So my link, I must have misspelled it. The second link does work. Okay, I just tried and it's working. Okay, Hash Brown says it worked. Kanita, Just Be Real is the bomb. She gave you a compliment, Just Be Real. She says you are great. She is. That's my girl. Work for you? Okay. No, Just Be. Oh, okay. So she may have been typing really fast because she's doing like 1,000 things at one time. Kia, the codependency course is going to be listed tomorrow. I have to go and I have to upload the workbook. I'm still doing the workbook. So I just edited like last week. I was really, really busy because my daughter, it was her last week of school. So I was really busy with my daughter and I just got through editing the course, the recording. And so tomorrow morning, I'm going to be working on the workbook. So I will have the workbook loaded and I will have the course will be ready tomorrow. So I will have that uploaded tomorrow. Okay. Mine was broken when I copied it. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. So Kia, tomorrow, the course will be tomorrow. And thank you so much, Just Be Real. So the link is working. The link is working. I don't know what I was typing in mine. Let me go back and look and see what I was typing in mine. Let me see. Overcoming narcissist. You know when you type in fat, there you go. Narcissist abuse dot ticketleap.com. Bam. See. Yeah, the link is working. So it's working. It was probably just a typo when she was typing. It's probably just a typo. The Chicago conference is Destiny Helper, and she's also doing Zoom on hers. So she also have Zoom. So if you cannot be there, you can purchase a ticket for Zoom on there. Okay. Dot ticketleap.com. This is to my mother's conference where all of us are going to be, and all of us are ministering at this one. So it's Destiny Helper. Okay. Thank you, Just Be Real. DestinyHelper.ticketleap.com is the Chicago conference. And that is her conference. That's my mother's conference. Yeah. Okay, that's so Desi does that one right there is for the Chicago conference. Good night. You live in Chicago? Okay, Miss Desi. We hoping to see you. I hope you come out there. I hope you come out there. Yes. That'll be amazing. Now, she did say for those that are in Chicago, there's a different fee. And so let me talk to her. Email me, Miss Desi, at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com so that I can find out for those living in Chicago, there's a different fee. Those are right in Chicago. So email me and then I will give you the information from her, okay? So I'm getting ready to go, y'all. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for allowing me to talk a little extra. I always say I'm getting ready to get off, and then I got all. Okay, thank you, Miss Desi. And I'll give you the information from her. But thank you so much for being here. I always say I'm getting ready to get off, then I get excited, get all this energy, and then I'm ready to keep on talking. But I'm not going to do you guys like that. I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining me. Have a great night, Miss Kia. Just know that the course will be, so the course that's on there now is the grief and loss, overcoming grief and loss after narcissist abuse. And it talks about the 16 different types of grief and loss. Just look at what the, just look and see the content. It'll tell you what I talk about in there. And then tomorrow I will have the breaking codependency on there. Okay. So I will have that tomorrow. I just got to finish the workbook and I'll have that available tomorrow. Once I have that available, I will start advertising for the next course that I will be doing. Thank you, Miss Kanita. And that's from Queen to Queen. I bow to you as well. You guys have a beautiful evening, okay? Thank you guys and have a great evening. You guys go and be great. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. You guys have a wonderful evening. Good night.